it's Sammy from Lost Society, and you're listening to Metal Nation Radio. Check it out.
Greetings from India.
Oh, thank you so much, dude. Greetings from Finland.
I would like to thank you for taking the time. How are you doing?
I'm doing really good, thank you. We're just chilling out right now. We're gonna have practice soon with the band, so I'm doing really good. How are you, dude?
I am doing great. It's awesome.
Oh, that's awesome, dude.
I was listening to your stuff and it's mind blowing.
Really, thank you so much. That's really nice to hear.
But first of all, I would like to congratulate the entire Lost Society team for releasing an awesome album, which is basically,
we all thank you.
which is basically a sound of a band that is out to prove that it can be among the thrash metal's elite.
All right, dude, that's really nice to hear. Like, from the bottom of our hearts, from all of the guys, we really thank you. I mean, we tried our hardest to release or to do a really kick-ass album, and we're really proud of it, so it's really nice to hear that.
Good job done.
Oh, that's really nice, dude. Yeah, I was really happy. Always, like, when we do new stuff, it's really nice to read the reviews and stuff, so, of course, it's always, like, a real honor for us to see the people who actually like the album and stuff, so that's really cool. Thank you.
Right, you're welcome. And how have your fans responded? I mean, you've released few singles on YouTube, so how has been the response till now?
You know, it's actually been really good because, like, after Fast Loud Death was recorded or released, like, we were basically, like, stunned with the response that we got from both the press and the fans, so we were really, like, open-minded to what's gonna happen when Lethal Pleasure comes out, so when we released Lethal Pleasure, we all had basically, like, an open mind to what's gonna happen, like, we didn't know how the fans would respond, but we were all, again, like, really, really happy with, like, the fans and the press's response, that everyone seemed to like the song, and, well, I'm sure that the rest of the album will also please the listeners, that we really, like, we did our heart. Hopefully everyone else loves it as much as we do.
Oh, it kicks ass, and especially, tracks like Game Over and, Lethal Pleasure contain some pure thrashy riffs, which would be perfect for the butchery.
Hell yeah, dude, hell yeah.
But there are also a few songs, like Thrash Reality and Brutal Awakening, which have a kind of dark atmosphere present. So, what was the intention behind this vibe?
Well, actually, when we were, like, doing the writing process, which basically started at once when we had covered the sessions of Fast Loud Death, when we started writing the songs, we didn't actually, like, think about it too much, because if we get too caught up on, like, what we're gonna do, we don't get really good results done.
Absolutely.
So we just, like, started writing the riffs and stuff, and, like, for some reason, just some of the songs became a bit darker, like, or dark-themed and stuff, but, like, I think it fits the album really well, because, like, well, of course, the first album was like the really thrash or old oriented. So we got some more technical stuff definitely on this one, because all of us have like at least also progressed with our own instruments. So some of the riffs are just more technical, and well, I like it that way.
Wonderful, and even the cover art took it to another level. I mean, the dude holding the bloody machete is definitely terror hungry.
Oh, he is definitely terror hungry.
Well, that's cool because, compared to your debut album, Terror Hungry is a huge progress in terms of musical maturity, and you guys have been successful in incorporating a variety of riffs and moods, especially in a genre like thrash.
Well, yeah, dude, because, like, what we tried to do also with Fast Loud Death, but we also did, of course, with Terror Hungry, is, like, because, like, our genre, I guess we would say that it's thrash or speed metal, but we really like to incorporate, like, these different kinds of elements and stuff, like, of course, the groove riffing and the crossover stuff and all of that, so, because, anyway, thrash is a kind of genre that there's so many bands out there doing the same thing, so it's, like, cool that we get something fresh and new to the stuff also.
Exactly. Especially for a genre like thrash metal, everything has been done before. So one has to, redesign the wheel to make sure it stands out. So how does Lost Society make sure their music stands out among the rest of the thrash metal bands?
Well, like I think the biggest or the most powerful thing that we have on our side is that because we have like four people in the band,
Right.
and even though all of us have like similar taste in music, we come from like fairly different backgrounds. That like because like there's for example me who I love Iron Maiden over
Mm-hmm.
everything. Then there's someone who loves Black Sabbath, someone who loves Pantera, and we
Wow.
get all of these elements because we do our songs together always. So
Mm-hmm.
we get like a lot of these different kinds of elements and we put them together so that it's a song that's thrash but it has a lot of different stuff in it to make it more interesting and stuff like that.
Exactly, that's cool. So, how do you guys, come up with the songwriting process? Do you guys go into the past and try to find out what was missing, or was the songwriting spontaneous?
Well, yeah, we like to keep it really spontaneous. That if like as I said, that if you focus too much, like, or if you say to yourself that now we're gonna make a kick-ass song, you're most likely not gonna make one. So,
Absolutely.
like, basically, we just go to practice, and some of us or one of us like brings out a riff or something.
Mhm.
Then we just start working on that riff. We start jamming it, and actually, I'd say like that the best songs that we've made have come from like half an hour of working or something.
That's cool.
Yeah, if you start like pushing yourself that now let's make a good riff, then we can't just do it that way. It's got to be spontaneous.
Exactly. That sounds cool. So, and there's one thing which I've noticed. You guys have not ventured into making social and political statements, which is basically a path that many thrash metal bands follow. So, why haven't you guys explored these areas?
Well, actually, the reason for that is actually because when I made the song, I mean the band name Lost Society, like many people actually thought that we would be doing some political statement.
Exactly.
But it's actually funny because like none of us really know anything about politics or anything about that. So I think it's better just that we like keep that subject totally away from us because let's face it, there are a lot of bands already that do a lot of that stuff, so I think
True.
it's just better that we leave it to just the having fun and stuff like that.
That's absolutely true. And you guys are too, obsessed with beer because your profile pictures and your, photo shoots have a mess, completely around. So something like beer songs coming up, huh?
Well, yeah, I mean, on the second album, there are quite a few songs that are talking about partying and having a
Right.
good time. But I'd say it is definitely more about just like having a good time and laid back. Because like there's so many bands anyway that take
Right.
everything so like really, really seriously.
Right.
And well, of course we do take our music seriously, but we're just having a good time because in the end of the day, this is what we all just love to do. So why
Absolutely.
not talk about that too? Like there's some true stories like Wasted After Midnight or something like that. It's just about having a really good time and feeling really bad after it.
Absolutely, that's cool. Now, in my opinion, Lost Society is a band that incorporates the twists and turns of jazz into the juvenile mischief that signifies thrash. So, some people might even call Lost Society the love child of Megadeth and Anthrax. So, how much of influence have these bands been on the sound of Lost Society?
Oh, definitely. Like, from like the first interviews that I did from Fast Loud Death, even I was saying always that, it's like old Megadeth, like the first three albums and Rust in Peace,
Peace Cells.
plus like, the Anthrax kind of, yeah, Peace Cells, all of that stuff. Like Megadeth and Anthrax, the old school stuff. It's definitely been like the biggest influence on us because. Well, it's like what like people used to say about Megadeth, even that they're more of like a jazz band when they play live
Right.
and stuff like that. So I mean, I think we've incorporated a lot of that kind of stuff into our stuff, and well, of course, like the pure amazing riffs of Scott Ian and stuff like that. That's been a huge influence to us.
Mhm.
So yeah, we've definitely incorporated a lot of that stuff to our stuff.
No, that's absolutely true. So, what do you think about those bands, those 80s thrash metal giants? Do you see the same intensity and the fire when it comes to bands like Metallica, Megadeth, Slayer, or Anthrax?
Well, like a thing that combines all of those bands is definitely like, well, let's say for example their first like 2 or 3 albums that you can see like the actual real anger that they
Right.
had because when like for example Megadeth or Metallica were starting the whole thrash metal scene, you could just see how they were just really angry about all the glam stuff that's happening all of
Right.
this. So I think that was like when all of those bands were at their purest form. Well, of course, I can't say the same thing about like the new school Megadeth or Metallica.
Right.
I think I don't really like that stuff anymore. But like the old school albums, they had something in them that really hit me hard.
So the guys these days lack that, feel like, lack that passion and desire they had in the 80s.
Yeah, I think so. Like, well, I don't know. Maybe it might be like a progression, just that like nowadays they're not so angry anymore because all of them probably have a bit of money and shit like that. But I don't know.
Right.
I don't want to. I hope I really don't lose the intensity of this stuff because well, it's just like what I want to do. And I mean, I'm not particularly pissed off at so many things, but I mean,
Right.
it's just the music. Just in the music scene, I change into a different person, a very angry kind of little boy.
Right. You guys are known to unleash hell live as well. So how does it feel to write such songs in a studio, which is more like a quiet environment, and then you guys go on stage and nail it?
Well, like in the studio situation, it's totally different but still, like when we're writing the songs, we also like to like feel how they're gonna sound like when they're live. Like when we make some riffs or some killer riffs and stuff like that. I mean, all of us just bang our fucking heads in the rehearsal place, and I'd say that if we didn't do that, we would know that it's not a good enough riff to take on the studio
Wow,
record.
that's cool.
But then, like, of course, everything when we hit the stage, then everyone just gets unleashed with this like kind of energy and power and stuff, and it's just like the best feeling in the world to be on stage.
Absolutely. That's absolutely true. Now, you guys are from Finland, and Finland is known for bands like Sonata Arctica and Bodom, Nightwish, and it's not for its thrash scene. Now, were you guys
Yeah.
anxious about orienting the direction of your musical conquest towards thrash?
Well, actually, I think we hit like a really amazing time when we released Fast Loud Death because,
Right.
like, I'd say that the Finnish scene has not seen anything like that for years and years. Like,
Absolutely.
well, of course, for me, like a huge band is this Finnish band called Stone that was like active in the 80s and stuff, and they really like started the whole thrash scene in Finland. But like after they broke up and stuff, like it's been really quiet with this stuff. That it's usually the melodic death metal and melodic metal and whatever the
Right.
fuck those are. But like I think we hit a really good place because people were ready for it and people wanted maybe something more aggressive. So
Right.
we delivered that, and well, we're really happy like to be in that place that we are one of the, I guess I'd say, leading ways of thrash or
Right.
something in Finland. But that's really cool, yeah.
Fantastic. And you guys are represented by Nuclear Blast, which is one of my favorite heavy metal label. So, how does it feel to be on a label which represents bands like Accept, Anthrax, Machine Head, and so on?
Well, I really can't believe it still. It's one of those things that, like, after we got signed there, like, none of us actually could believe it when they even sent us that first email. But, like, we're really honored to be with them, and we're so grateful because they really have, like, the best promotional teams that there are in the
Absolutely.
world. And like they could bring our music, to so many countries that we couldn't have ever even thought of. So we really owe a lot to to Nuclear Blast, and the cooperation is just going really well. So I hope that we can work with them for like years to come.
Wow, that's cool. And now signing up with the label like Nuclear Blast means a lot of distribution to the US as well. So what are the plans of touring the States?
Well, up till now we have no plans yet because, like, the United States is anyway one of those places that you gotta be really careful to see what, like, deals you do because it's really, really expensive actually
Right.
to tour the States. So we're actually still waiting for, like, the right situation, but, like, definitely we won't hesitate to go if we get a good deal because, of course, that's one of, like, the coolest places on earth, and I definitely want to visit, like, LA or something like that, like, in this career of mine. So that would be like just amazing if that happened.
Absolutely. Now the album, if I would have to just say it in few words, I would say, the power in the album is mind blowing, and it's basically, the goose in this, the golden candor of thrash metal is the riffing. Now, how do you guys, come up with such amazing notes, which is brutally, it sends chills down one's spine?
Well, thank you so much, dude. But I don't know. It's when we hit the practice place, it's just like I really don't know. We get inspiration from a lot of things. Like, of course, like the music that we listen is like the biggest thing for us. And well, when I get a guitar in my hands, I just start like exploring these different kinds of things because, well, actually, all of us in the band, none of us have gone to any theory lessons or anything like that. So we're really like we don't know anything about music, you know, in the professional way. But it's just like if something feels good and sounds good, then it's gonna be good. And I don't know, it's just from, I guess, years of listening to, like, old school metal and stuff.
Right.
That it's just, you know, growing in our veins. So, I don't know, the riffs just keep on coming, and I'm pretty happy with it. I'm actually, a lot of the times, I'm really amazed with the riffs that I actually write. I'm like, what the fuck, can I actually do that?
That's cool, because, you know, after listening to the two albums, I could easily figure out, because there's a thrash metal revival which has started a few years back. Somewhere, somehow, I feel that slowly you guys are, you know, coming up to that particular level on being with the bands like Warbringer and, you know, other amazing bands. So it you know, especially when I listen to your album, it's more like these guys are, you know, are in their teens and they have mastered their instruments so damn well, and that, you know, most of their seniors are struggling to play one song.
Well, that's really nice to hear. I don't know. It's, of course, like one of the factors that's going for us is that we're young, but I wouldn't take it all on that because, I mean, of course, like one of the things is that music is our passion and all, like our instruments to each other, they're our passion too. So, I mean, we just, basically everything we do is somehow related to music. Right. And well, I think that's a really good thing for us. I mean, I'm really lucky that I've found like these three other guys who share the same kind of intensity for the music as I do. And I really hope it stays that way because, well, this is like our dream and we're already living the dream. So absolutely. I really couldn't hope for anything else, dude.
That's awesome. Now, the Bay Area thrash revolution holds a very strong place in heavy metal. Now, we have seen bands that make brilliant music and some of them progressing towards international superstardom. At this juncture, you guys are in the similar stage. You know, being in your late teens, being signed to, you know, one of the best heavy metal labels and going on a road with, you know, bands like Overkill and Bodom. What do you see for yourselves in the future?
Well, you know, I'd say like, well, I've said always like the biggest goal or hope for me like is that after even 5 years I could still say to people that I'm still playing with these three other guys and we're still having the times of our lives, because if that disappears at some point, then basically everything is lost. But I just want to say like proudly after 5 or 10 years that I'm still playing thrash with Lost Society and we're still having a good time. I think that would just be like the best possible future for us.
Wonderful, you know, what we call as blood brothers together.
Hell yeah, dude.
Wonderful. Now, what are the upcoming plans for the rest of 2014?
Well, now when the album comes out, we're gonna be starting a Finnish tour, which will take about 2 months. We're gonna be doing like these weekend shows and stuff all around here, and then we're gonna do actually 4 gigs in Spain for the first time, which is gonna be really cool because I've always wanted to go out there. And well, when the summer starts, we're gonna be doing festivals in Finland, and in the end of the summer, we're gonna go to 3 festivals in Germany at least. Wow. There's gonna be like Party Summer Breeze and Metal Frenzy. And well, for the rest of the year, actually, we don't know. I mean, we're just gonna keep on practicing. Most likely, we're gonna be doing new material, and it wouldn't be impossible actually that if we actually go to the studio and record album number 3.
Wow. So plans are up ahead. And you know, that brings me to the question, what are the prospects of a band coming to a country like India? I mean, are you guys aware?
I really hope so, because I think it was actually last year after Fast Loud Death had come out, we actually got this one offer from India actually to do like a few shows there. But you know, at the time, of course, it was like we didn't have any booking agents and we didn't really know what's happening.
Right.
So couldn't take that offer, but you know, I really hope to come there because I mean, it's amazing, you know, for me, like especially when I've been checking out these Iron Maiden videos when they're playing in Bangalore and Mumbai and all that stuff. So it's really cool to see that even there, you know, the metal scene has caught up with everything. That's really awesome.
Are you aware that, you know, you have a solid fan following here? And you know, let me tell you that Indians are very crazy about thrash metal.
Cool. That's really cool to hear, dude. Well, even with now that I know that, I mean, I want to come there even more.
That's cool. Now, you guys went to Japan some time back, and I know you mentioned that your fondness for Asahi. That's the Japanese beer.
Yeah, dude, it was amazing.
That's cool. And Japan is a place that is known for its awareness in heavy metal. So, how was the experience playing in Japan, and how was it playing in front of Japanese fans?
Well, like ever since the days that I heard Tokyo War Hearts by Children of Bodom, it's been what everyone has said always, that, yeah, Japan was like the coolest thing ever, that it's been one of those personal goals for me. So when we actually got there, I still couldn't believe it that we were actually in Japan. But when we hit the stage and it was like a full arena, it was actually the morning when we were playing.
Wow.
But it was like a full arena of crazy, amazing fans who are just like screaming the words and the notes that we're playing. It was one of those like memories that I'll have forever. That was definitely one of the coolest moments of my life. So yeah, it was amazing, and I really hope to return to Japan soon.
Wow, super awesome. Now, I would end the interview on a very small note. Terror Hungry, new album. How would Samy define the album in just one sentence?
It's a Lost Society styled thrash album with even more of the cool mixtures of genre elements that we do. It's killer. I guess that was pretty good.
That was, and you took very less time. Generally, when I ask this question to bands, they'll think for like 5-10 seconds and then they will answer. So all is well. Well, thanks a lot again, Samy. It's been an honor to have you with us. We look forward to catch you on road.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. I'd like to say thank you, a huge, massive thank you to all of the Lost Society supporters out there. That it's the fans do everything for us, and without you, we would be nowhere. So thank you so much, and I really hope you enjoy the new album.